We're about to take a trip down to Norwich to visit Last Level Games and Regen Gaming, two really cool places that Sarah, I and Rob visited this past weekend. But first I've got a few things I want to get out of the way because I'm dying to show you these. Now, I was contacted by a really sound guy and I've learnt something. Apparently Cash Monkey is a local business. I thought it was a national chain, but Cash Monkey in Long Eaton, the manager Carl reached out to me. He said, look, hey Jem, I've seen your videos. Would you be interested in some factory sealed PS1 games? And I was like, depends on the price. And we kind of had a little bit of backwards and forwards kind of negotiation, and he's really sound, and we agreed on a price. And I don't actually own these games, so it's really cool to get these factory sealed. I'll show you additional pieces of footage as well. You can see the I'll see if the camera will pick it up. Actually, you can see the place. In fact, it's better to be able to see on this side. You can see the PlayStation seal around the front there, and I thought, you know what, local business, Cash Monkey, I visited their store in Mansfield. I'm gonna give these guys a massive shout out because I'm going to be going down there for yet more retro game stuff. And Kyle, don't forget to keep me in the loop on what you get in. So how cool are these? I think me as a collector, I'll be able to obtain these and play these that aren't, well, obviously non-sealed versions, but I was like, yes, these are so sweet. I'm not quite sure where the cling film comes from. Maybe that's just to kind of keep them together. It actually sounds like one of the discs are loose, which is going to not destroy me. I'm not going to allow it to destroy me, but I just wanted to give them a shout out. Go check them out, Cash Monkey in Long Eaton. But now we're going to roll the intro and we're going to get down because we found a Panasonic 3DO out in the wild. In the glorious Last Level Games. I just want to shout out Rob for taking us there, and obviously I forgot your name, but the chap that owns it, also I think his name's Eddie, shout out to you as well. Had some wicked stuff, and I had some great conversations with Eddie as well, and it kind of turns out he is also a massive retro game collector. So really cool to speak to not just a retro game store owner, but somebody that is actually passionate about our wonderful hobby. Now, I paused the video here because to the left there's the Panasonic 3DO, if you've caught it. I, like an idiot, thought I'd caught more footage of it, but I didn't, and it was so nice. I'm such a dingbat. It was so nice to see a 3DO out in the wild. Let's continue. Oh shit. I love Super Nintendo. It's an NTSC Star Fox. So I've got a nice sterling collection of cartridge-based retro games. We've got our Sarah off to the left. You can see the reflection. Check her out in my Pikachu hat. We both bought one of those Pikachu hats. That was actually mine, and she didn't want one. I offered to like buy her one, and she's like, I don't want it. And then we got in here, and she's like, can I wear your Pikachu hat? I'm like, just have it. I'll go and get another. So we were walking around with Pikachu hats on.
Earthworm Jim.
Where? Oh, no way! Earthworm. I love that everything's in alphabetical order. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Makes it so much easier. And just as a little teaser for those who've been wondering where are the car boot videos, well, they've been rained off for the last couple of weeks, but the weather here in the East Midlands is supposed to be super nice, so we should be getting out to some car boots this weekend, so keep an ey out, guys.
Yeah, like Team 24.
Obviously.
Just these videos. And...
Do you need any more sleeves?
Eh?
Do you need any more protectors?
Not the protectors, though, the inlays, yes.
That's what Patrick needs.
Hi, mate.
So we've kind of like come down to the front of the store right now. You're going to see Rob in shot right there. And then our Sarah with the Pokeballs off the hat. We're down in the front of the shop now, which tended to be less cartridge based and more CD based games. So Wii U, PS3, Xbox 360, PS1, etc, etc. Some really, really, really good stuff. And I will say there were like really decent prices as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting back down to Last Level Games and check this gorgeous game. Well, the two gorgeous Game Gears out. There was also a red one earlier in this episode. I don't know if any of you eagle-eyed viewers clocked it, but I love seeing stuff like that. I'm really into kind of rejuvenating, regenerating and revitalizing consoles. I mean, especially that like the Game Gear, which is notorious for screen and audio failure because the capacitors are absolutely cruddy. So I do believe Rob has some in stock. This is the Raw Talent Arts. Rob there in the yellow mask, he also does this for a living. Mods consoles, custom consoles, check him out.
Back it down right now.
Oh, she's such a dick. I've got it, baby. Get the soundtrack.
Sleeve. Oh, soundtrack.
Yes, soundtrack. So I'm also going to be showing you good people what retro gaming goodies I picked up before we dive back into the out and about field of the retro gaming wonders, because later in this episode we're going to be taking a trip down to Regen Games, which a lot of you had kind of mentioned to me, you know, if I'm in Norwich, make sure you kind of hit that place up, and we did, and they had some good stuff in there. But for now we're going to warp back to the Lady Lounge and check out what I picked up. Let's go. So a pretty cool place by retro gaming standards. I really, really can't suggest or recommend enough that you get down there. I'm looking forward to going back down there. I have a couple of friends down there. Waz, I hope to meet you soon, and obviously Rob, so I'll be going back down there as well. And what I pick up, this was brand new. I held off on this, but I got a good price on this. This is the kind of Game & Watch. I really like the decal. The Super Mario World decal, Super Mario Brothers decal, get your words out, love. Brand new on the Game & Watch here. This cost me 35 quid. These didn't do as well as everybody had anticipated when they first came out. I think what happened was a lot of collectors went in and bulk bought these in the hope that they would skyrocket in value, and actually they've lost value. They've depreciated, and I'm not quite sure why. For me personally, this is purely a collection piece. I'm going to keep it in as a kind of neat a condition as possible, have it on display on one of my shelves. So I thought I'd kind of grab that as an impulsive purchase because I've not seen them in local retro game stores. And then I picked it up, which is actually a lovely game. I own this on the, what do you call it, the N64. I snagged a really good copy of Glover. It says here you can't keep your hands off it. Embark on a magical journey with Glover as he tries to save the wizard's kingdom and return the 7 missing crystals. Now, I really was fond of Cooler World back in the day, and as much as I'm not a puzzle kind of girl, I like the quirky nature of the likes of Cooler World and Glover. So I thought I'm taking a punt at this, and it would go nicely with my N64 version. You don't see it around that often. I think this was only 12 quid. Sarah actually bagged herself Assassin's Creed Valhalla as well on the PS5. So we did spend, between us, we got some games down there. I was really, really stoked with that. But you've seen, so that's from Last Level. And obviously we're going to take a trip to Regen Games now, which is a bigger shop but had less stock in. We'll take a trip there now and I'll show you what I picked up from them. This was a hefty walk across Norwich, and it was my first time in Norwich. Going from Last Level Games down to Regen Games was a good 20 minutes, but thankfully I like my walks, and boy was it worth it. Check this place out. Love stuff like this. Hell yes. Project Zero. What's this?
We weren't, no, we were addressed, weren't we? We weren't allowed to come out to the shop if anyone said.
So Regen Games had a very different vibe to Last Level. There was more space, but there wasn't as much stock. But I think that it was really nice to have these little flares of personality. Like, I love going in places like this and seeing like things in the back of the store, things that aren't out, and you think, wow, there's more to this shop than actually meets the eye. And for me, it just feels like so... I just love being in these environments. As you guys know, my regular viewers will know just how passionate I am for video games and, in fact, retro gaming and all things gaming, essentially. So to be able to get down to these places, you know, to be able to go out on these retro game hunts after being locked in for a year, it just feels like such a blessing, and long may it live. I say that all the time. In this particular shop, we got some NTSC, Super Nintendo games, we got the Game & Watch Pokemon stuff, a couple of bits in the back there, DS-wise, etc, etc. There were talks in here that they were padding out their stock as well, because remember guys, these stores have only just opened again. So now more than ever, we got to support them. We've got to support all retro game shops. It's not, you know, I kind of do this. I'll tell you a story, a brief story actually. I went in one of these stores. It wasn't any in Norwich, but I went in one recently, and the owner offered to pay me to do a tour, and I said no, I don't want to, because I make the videos for my audience and I make them for myself. I don't want to get into it where I'm paid to do a proper bang up professional tour, because that's not me, it's not my brand, it's not what I want to put out there. I do this because I love it, and it comes onto YouTube, and it wouldn't, you know, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to go down that road. So if you have a retro game shop and you want me to come down, you know, obviously it's all at my cost. Happy to spend money to support your local business. But yeah, just please reach out to me on the socials. Shout out to everyone that's fighting these tough times under COVID and retro game stores.
No, he's been out. No, Manchester, waiting. Is it from Manchester or Birmingham?
I can't remember.
I haven't kept up with it.
Another place.
He usually messages me when
Sonic.
he's got some mod question or something, like have you ever modded this or that, or, you know, and then we get talking about other stuff. But
Yeah,
he's quite into his mods and
he loves it.
like that.
Is that scaling? I don't know if the
Yeah.
issues recently, but
Yeah. That's how actually I got chatting to him first, because he overheard me talking about retro stuff. And he was like, oh, have you got a retro shield? What's that? And then we started chatting, and I was like, oh my god, it's something. But now it's just like, hi, retro team, we're done.
So we're about to wrap it up here with Molly barking in the background. She's also saying, hey, subscribe to my mother's channel. So please, if you are still here, bang that subscribe button, throw your green shell, throw your red shell, throw your blue shell into the subscribe button, and continue to enjoy daily content, weekly content, and live streams over on Twitch. We'll start with an obscure Super Nintendo title. This is Tintin in Tibet. Now, I mentioned this, I kind of didn't name drop, but I hinted that I had a rare SNES game in the last episode I did. This does go for an absolute fortune boxed. It really does go for an absolute fortune. So I was quite surprised to find a good condition cartridge. Pins in really nice condition. I don't know if there'll be too much glare from the background light there, but everything about this cartridge is in fantastic condition. Even the sticker has a very, very minimal scratching on it as well. And it sounded to me like they'd had this in the store for a long time, because the lady made a bit of a joke. So the guy's like, oh, can you believe this is finally selling after all these years it's been in the store? So happy to have it here at the Gebs 24 headquarters, at the Team 24 house. Next up then is a nice classic horror title, Project Zero on the original Xbox. It says here based on a true story. Now, I'm a sucker for horror games. I actually will see a case like this on a horror game and I'll be like jumping straight in without even reading reviews. So if this, I've heard good things about Project Zero anyway, but I got a nice little deal on this for £12.50. Just to put that into context for you, CX sell this for 18, so I think that that was a really nice price there. And it says based on a true story, so I'm gonna have to do some more reading because I had no idea this was based on a true story. But nonetheless it is. Now, I'm a bit of a sucker for a book, and I love old Nintendo. This is the unauthorized, so unofficial guide, just completely random. Ultimate Unauthorized Nintendo Game Strategies Volume 2. When I first saw this, I thought it was one of these, which were the choose your own adventure books that Nintendo put out in the early to mid 90s, and I was like, whoa, I need to pick it up. But it was just this, and I think that this is super darn cool. I absolutely love stuff like this, and the collector in me was just like, I need to take it home and I need to read it. So let's just have a look at some of the games that are in here, just to give you guys a bit of an example of what we can obtain from this book. It says hot new NES games: A Boy and His Blob, Dr. Chaos, Chessmaster, Casino Kid, Ninja Gaiden. I mean, there's tons of stuff in here. NES. It's all NES, which is great. Absolutely fantastic. So we're kind of oozing 80s and early 90s goodness with this one. So if you're in the retro gaming community and you're happening to be in Norwich anytime soon, go and check out those 2 retro game stores and do enjoy your time down there. But for now, guys, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please leave a like, cop yourself some merch, on some Team 24 merch on the merch shelf below. And yeah, if you want to be really cool, you can join Team 24 by hitting the join link or the second link in the description. But for now, my name is Gemma. Take care, have a beautiful day. See you in the next one. I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video.